Commander Jake Peterson was drinking his morning coffee when the alarm started screaming. Red lights flashed across the command center of Luna Base, Earth's most important space station. Jake put down his cup and ran to the main screen. "What's happening?" he asked his team. Ben Clark, the communications officer, looked up from his desk. His face was pale. "Sir, we have a problem. A big one." Jake walked over to Ben's station. On the screen, he could see a strange shape moving through space. It was huge, bigger than any ship he had ever seen. The ship was long and silver, with curves that seemed to flow like water. It moved without making any sound. "Where did it come from?" Jake asked. "We don't know, sir," said Ben. "It just appeared. Our sensors didn't see it coming. One moment, there was nothing, and then it was there." Dr. Lisa Morgan, the team's science expert, was studying the readings on her computer. She shook her head. "This doesn't make sense. The ship's materials are unlike anything we know. It's bending light around itself." Jake looked at the ship again. It was beautiful, but also scary. "How big is it?" "About 2 miles long," Lisa said, "and it's moving toward our solar system." Jake felt his heart beat faster. In 2187, humans had met other alien races before. Some were friendly, others were not. But this ship was different. It looked more advanced than anything they had seen. "Try to talk to them," Jake ordered. Ben pressed buttons on his control panel. "Unknown ship, this is Luna Base. Please respond." "We come in peace." They waited. No answer came. Ben tried again. "Unknown ship, you are entering human space. Please identify yourself." Still nothing. Hours passed. The ship kept moving closer to Earth. Jake called Captain Amy Hughes, who was on the USS Horizon, a ship designed to meet new alien visitors. "Amy, we need you to check out this ship," Jake said over the radio. "On our way," Amy replied. Captain. Amy Hughes was one of the best pilots in the Earth Defense Fleet. She had met aliens before and knew how to handle dangerous situations. Her ship, the USS Horizon, was small but fast. It could escape quickly if needed. As Amy's ship got closer to the strange vessel, she could see it better. The ship's surface was smooth and shiny. There were no windows that she could see. No weapons either, but that didn't mean it was safe. "This is Captain Hughes of the USS Horizon," Amy said over the radio. "Please respond." The alien ship stayed silent. Amy flew her ship around the strange vessel. It was even bigger up close. She could see strange markings on its surface, but they didn't look like any language she knew. "Lisa, are you seeing this?" Amy asked. Back on Luna Base, Dr. Lisa Morgan was watching everything on her screens. "Yes, Amy, those markings are interesting. They look almost familiar." "Familiar how?" "I'm not sure yet. Give me more time to study them." Amy continued to circle the ship. Suddenly, her radar started beeping. "Jake, we have a problem. My sensors are picking up something else." "What is it?" "More ships. Lots of them. They're coming from deep space." Jake looked at his own screens. He could see them too. Dozens of dark ships were moving toward Earth. These ships looked different from the first one. They were black and had sharp edges. They looked like weapons. "Oh no," Lisa said. "I know what those are. HFY ships." Jake's blood went cold. Everyone in the Earth Defense Fleet knew about the HFY. They were a race of aliens who destroyed other planets. They had wiped out entire civilizations. But they had never come to Earth before. "How many ships?" Jake asked. "I count at least 50, Ben said. "Maybe more." The HFY ships were getting closer. They moved in perfect formation, like a swarm of angry insects. Their ships were designed for one thing: destruction. Amy watched from her ship as the Kethver fleet approached. "Jake, what should I do?" "Get back here, Amy. We need to prepare our defenses." But then something amazing happened. The mysterious silver ship suddenly came to life. Lights appeared along its surface. Energy fields formed around it. The ship turned and placed itself between Earth and the Kethver fleet. "What's it doing?" Amy asked. "I think," Lisa said slowly, "it's protecting us." The silver ship powered up weapons that no human had ever seen before. Beams of pure energy shot out from its surface. The beams hit the first Kethve ships and destroyed them instantly. "Impossible," Jake whispered. "Those Kethver ships have the strongest shields in the galaxy." But the silver ship's weapons cut through the shields like they were made of paper. More Kethver ships exploded in bright flashes of light. The remaining Kethver ships tried to fight back. They fired their own weapons at the silver ship. Silver ship's shields glowed bright blue as they absorbed the attacks. It didn't seem to be damaged at all. "Amy, get back here now," Jake ordered Dot as Amy flew back to Luna Base. She watched the battle. The silver ship was fighting alone against 50 enemy vessels. It moved like a dancer, graceful and fast. Its weapons never missed their targets. One by one, the Kethver ships were destroyed. The few that survived turned and fled back into deep space. The silver ship stopped firing. It hung in space, silent once again. "Did we just watch one ship defeat an entire Kethver fleet?" Amy asked. "Yes," Jake said. "And it saved Earth." The question now was, who were these strangers, and why had they helped humanity? 3 hours after the battle, the silver ship finally spoke. A deep voice came through the radio speakers at Luna Base. "Human vessels, this is Commander Zeflos of the Terran Defense Corps. We need to talk." Jake Peterson nearly dropped his coffee. "Cup, Terran Defense Corps? What's that supposed to mean?" Ben Clark was already working at his station. "Sir, I'm getting a signal. They want to send us a hologram." "Let them," Jake said. The air in the command center began to shimmer. Slowly, a figure appeared in front of them. It looked like a human, but not quite. The person was tall and thin, with skin that had a silver shine to it. His eyes were larger than normal human eyes, and his hair was completely white. "Greetings," the figure said. "I am Commander Zeflos." Dr. Lisa Morgan stepped forward. "You?" said Terran Defense Corps. "Terra is another name for Earth. Are you from Earth?" Zeflos nodded. "In a way, yes. My people left Earth 800 years ago." Everyone in the room was quiet. 800 years ago, humans had barely learned to fly in space. How could anyone have left Earth back then? "That's impossible," said Chris Davis, the team's history expert. "We have records of everything that happened 800 years ago. No one left Earth. The mission was secret," Zeflos explained. "A small group of scientists had discovered how to travel faster than light. They knew that Earth would face dangers in the future, so they built ships and sent colonists to distant stars." Lisa felt her heart racing. What happened to them? "They built new worlds," Zeflos said. "They had children and grandchildren. But then the Kethver found them. We have been fighting them ever since." Captain Amy Hughes had returned to Luna Base. She looked at the hologram with wide eyes. "You're human?" "We were human once," Zeflos said. "Living on different worlds changed us. We adapted to new environments. But we never forgot where we came from." Jake stepped closer to the hologram. "Why are you here now?" Zeflos' face became sad. "Because we are losing the war. The Kethver have destroyed most of our colonies. My ship carries the last survivors from 3 different worlds." "How many survivors?" Amy asked. 47,000 people, Zeflos said. "That's all that's left of the colonies." The humans in the room were shocked. 47,000 people was a lot, but it was nothing compared to Earth's population of 12 billion. The Kethver are coming for Earth, Zephylos continued. That small fleet you saw today was just a scouting group. The real invasion force is much larger. How much larger? Jake asked, though he wasn't sure he wanted to know. 10,000 ships, Zephylos said. They will arrive in 6 days. The room was silent. 10,000 ships against Earth's defense fleet of 200 ships. It was impossible. Dr. Lisa Morgan found her voice first. Your ship destroyed 50 Kethver ships easily. Surely you can help us fight them. One ship cannot fight 10,000, Zephylos said. We have been running and hiding for decades. Our technology is better than theirs, but we are too few. Captain Sam Rodriguez was commanding the defense station near Mars. He joined the conversation. By radio, Commander Zephylos, what do you need from us? We need to work together, Zephylos said. Your people have something we lost long ago. You have numbers. You have factories. You have the will to fight. What can you offer us in return? Jake asked. Zephylos smiled for the first time. We can offer you 800 years of advanced technology. We can teach you to build better ships, better weapons, better shields. Amy felt hope growing in her chest. Can you teach us fast enough? We have no choice, Zephylos said. If Earth falls, humanity dies. All of humanity. Ben Clark looked up from his station. Sir, I'm getting reports from all over the solar system. Our deep space sensors are picking up strange readings. What kind of readings? Jake asked. Energy signatures. Moving toward us from multiple directions. Zephylos' hologram flickered. They're coming faster than I expected. The Kethver main fleet will be here in 4 days, not 6. 4 days? Lisa said, that's not enough time to upgrade our ships. It will have to be, Zephylos said. We can start with your fastest ships, your fighters and small cruisers. We can upgrade them first. Jake made a decision. Commander Zephylos, I'm going to contact Earth's government. We need to prepare for war. I understand, Zephylos said. But remember, time is running out. Every hour we wait, the Kethver get closer. Amy looked at the hologram. Why did your people leave Earth in the first place? What did they know that we didn't? Zephylos was quiet for a moment. They knew that Earth would eventually attract the attention of dangerous aliens. They wanted to make sure that humans would survive, even if Earth was destroyed. But Earth wasn't destroyed, Chris Davis said. Not yet, Zephylos replied. But the Kethvar have been watching your planet for a long time. They waited until your technology was advanced enough to be a threat to them. So they're coming now. Because we're dangerous? Jake asked. Yes, Zephylos said. The Kethver destroy any race that might challenge them in the future. They have done this to dozens of civilizations. Dr. Lisa Morgan felt sick. How do we fight an enemy like that? Together, Zephylos said. Your people have something the Kethver don't understand. You don't give up. You fight even when you can't win. How do you know that? Amy asked. Because, Zephylos said, we learned it from you. 800 years ago, when our ancestors left Earth, they took human courage with them. It's what kept us alive all these years. The hologram began to fade. I must go now. My ship needs repairs after the battle. But we will meet again soon. Wait, Jake called out. What's your ship's name? The Liberator, Zephylos said. Because we promised to return and free Earth from any threat. The hologram disappeared, leaving the humans alone with their thoughts. Well, Jake said finally, I guess we're going to war. Admiral Kate Wilson had seen many battles in her 30 years of service. She had fought pirates, rebels, and even hostile aliens. But nothing had prepared her for this. She stood in the war room deep inside Earth's military headquarters. Around At table sat the planet's top military leaders. On the main screen, Commander Zuflos's hologram was explaining the true horror of the Kethver. They are not like other aliens you have met, Zeflos said. They do not want territory or resources. They want to kill every living thing in the galaxy. General Tony Martinez, Earth's top strategist, leaned forward. Why? What do they gain? From destroying everyone? They believe that organic life is a disease, Zeflos replied. They think the galaxy would be perfect if only machines existed. They are part machine themselves. Dr. Ellen Brooks, Earth's leading expert on alien cultures, was taking notes. How much of them is machine? About half, Zeflos said. They replaced their organs with metal parts. They removed their emotions. They think this makes them perfect. Admiral Wilson felt cold. And they've been doing this for how long? We estimate about 2,000 years, Zeflos said. They have destroyed 47 different civilizations. Each time, they learn from the battle. They get better at killing. The room was quiet. Everyone was thinking about the same thing. How do you fight an enemy that has had 2,000 years to perfect? The art of war? Lieutenant Chris Davis spoke up. What about the colonies? How long did they fight? 300 years, Zeflos said. At first, we won many battles. Our technology was better. But they kept coming. They never stopped. They never got tired. Tell U.S. about their ships, Admiral Wilson said. Zeflos waved his hand. The hologram changed to show a Kethver battle fleet. The ships were black and ugly, with sharp edges and no curves. They looked like weapons themselves. They used swarm tactics, Zeflos explained. Thousands of small ships attack first. They sacrifice themselves to weaken your defenses. Then the big ships come. How big? Asked General Martinez. Their largest. Ships are 5 miles long, Zeflos said. They carry enough firepower to destroy a moon. Dr. Brooks looked up from her notes. Do they have any weaknesses? Yes, Zeflos said. They are very good at following orders, but they are not creative. They cannot adapt quickly to new situations. That's something, Admiral Wilson said. What else? They rely on quantum communication, Zeflos said. All their ships are connected by quantum signals. If you can break those signals, they become. Confused, engineer Sam Rodriguez was studying the ship designs. How do we break quantum signals? We discovered a way, Zeflos said. But it requires a special frequency. We can teach you how to build the equipment. Admiral Wilson felt a spark of hope. What about their ground forces? They do not usually land on planets, Zeflos said. They prefer to destroy everything. From space, but if they do land, they use robot soldiers. Robots? Chris Davis asked. Yes, they are faster and stronger than humans, but they are not as smart. They cannot think for themselves. Dr. Brooks had been quiet for a while. Now she spoke up. Commander, may I ask you something personal? Of course. What happened to your people during the war? How did it change you? Zeflos was quiet for a moment. We lost our home worlds. We lost our families. Many of us lost hope. But we never forgot that we were human inside. Is that why? You came back to Earth? Admiral Wilson asked. Yes, Zeflos said. Earth is the mother of all human worlds. If Earth dies, then humanity dies. We could not let that happen. General Martinez stood up. Commander, we need to see your ship. We need to understand your technology. I agree, Zeflos said. But first, you need to understand what you are facing. The Kethver fleet that is coming has 10,000 ships. But that is not the worst part. What's the worst part? Admiral Wilson asked. They are being led by a war master, Zeflos said. The Kethvar have different types of commanders. Most are just following programs. But war masters can think. They can make new plans. How many War Masters are there? Dr. Brooks asked. We think there are only 12 in the entire Kethfer Empire, Zephylos said. This is the first time we have seen one in our sector of space. Admiral Wilson felt her heart sink. What does that mean? It means they consider Earth to be very important, Zephylos said. They are sending their best commander to make sure. You are completely destroyed. The room was silent again. Finally, Admiral Wilson spoke. What's the War Master's name? Vex Thanner, Zephylos said. He has destroyed 6 civilizations personally. He enjoys killing. Enjoys? Chris Davis asked. I thought you said they remove their emotions. War Masters are different, Zephylos said. They kept some emotions, but only the dark ones. Anger, hatred, the desire to destroy. General Martinez walked over to the window. Outside, he could see the lights of the city. Millions of people lived there. They had no idea that death was coming from the stars. How long do we have? He asked. 3 days, Zephylos said. Maybe less. Then we need to start now, Admiral Wilson said. Commander, can you bring your ship to Earth orbit? Yes, Zephylos said, but I must warn you. When the Kethfer arrive, they will target my ship first. They know what we can do. We'll protect you, Admiral Wilson said. With what? Zephylos asked. Your ships are brave, but they are not strong enough to fight Kethfer dreadnoughts. Dr. Brooks looked up from her notes. What if we combine our strengths? Your technology with our numbers? That is what I hope for, Zephylos said. But it will not be easy. Your people will have to learn to use weapons they have never seen before. Admiral, Wilson made a decision. We'll do whatever it takes. Humanity will not go quietly into the dark. Good, Zephylos said. Because the Kethfer are expecting you to surrender when you see their fleet, they think humans are weak. Then they're about to learn something new, General Martinez said. Yes, Zephylos said, and for the first time, he smiled. They are going to learn that humans do not give up, ever. The meeting continued for hours. Plans were made. Orders were given. But everyone in the room knew the truth. They were about to fight the most dangerous enemy in the galaxy, and they had 3 days to get ready. President Rick Coleman had given many speeches in his life. He had talked to world leaders, addressed Congress, and spoken to millions of people on television. But this speech was different. This speech might be the last one he ever gave. He stood behind the podium in the White House, looking into the cameras. In a few minutes, every person on Earth would hear his words. My fellow humans, he began, today I must tell you something that will change our world forever. We are not alone in the universe, and we are in great danger. Around the world, people stopped what they were doing and listened. In factories, offices, homes, and schools, 12 billion people heard their leader explain about the Kethfor, about the lost colonies, and about the battle that was coming. But we are not helpless, President Coleman continued. We have allies. Our own people, who left Earth centuries ago, have returned to help us. Together, we will defend our home. Captain Nina Foster was already working when the speech ended. She was in charge of upgrading Earth's military ships with the new technology from the Liberator. Her team had been working for 2 days straight, and they were exhausted. How many ships have we finished? She asked her assistant. 47. Lieutenant Pete Johnson replied. But we need to upgrade at least 200 before the Kethfer arrive. Nina looked at the ship in front of her. It was a regular Earth fighter, but now it had silver panels attached to its hull. These panels contained Zephylos S advanced technology. The ship looked strange, but it was 10 times more powerful than before. Ma'am, called out technician Lucy Green from across the hangar, we have a problem. Nina walked over to Lucy's station. What is it? The power systems are overloading, Lucy said. These new weapons use too much energy. Our ships can't handle it. Nina felt her heart sink. They had been working so hard, and now it seemed like it was all for nothing. Can we fix it? She asked. Maybe, Lucy said, but it would mean changing the entire power core. That would take days. We don't have days, Nina said. Just then, Commander Zephylos' hologram appeared in the hangar. Captain Foster, I may have a solution. What is it? Nina asked. We can use a temporary power boost, Zephylos said. It will give your ships enough energy to use the new weapons. But it will only last for a few hours. How long exactly? Nina asked. About 4 hours, Zephylos said. After that, the ships. Systems will shut down. Nina thought about it. 4 hours wasn't much time. But it might be enough to win the battle. Will it work? She asked. It should, Zephylos said. But it's dangerous. Some of your pilots might not survive. Captain Foster looked around the hangar. Her people were tired, scared, and worried. But they were still working. They hadn't given up. We'll do it, she said. Across the solar system, people were working together like never before. Factory workers like Mike Stevens had volunteered to help build weapons. Teachers like Helen Carter were learning to operate communication systems. Even children were helping by carrying supplies and messages. Dr. Ellen Brooks was studying the Kethver communication system. She had been working with Zephylos to understand how the quantum signals worked. It's like a giant network, she explained. To her team, every Kethver ship is connected to every other ship. They share information instantly. So if we can break the network, double quotes, began her assistant. They won't be able to coordinate their attacks, Dr. Brooks finished. But the signal is very complex. We need to find the exact frequency. How do we do that? Asked the assistant. We need to capture a Kethver ship, Dr. Brooks said. Zephylos says there might be damaged ships from the first battle still floating. In space, Captain Amy Hughes volunteered to find the wreckage. She took her ship, the USS Horizon, and flew to where the battle had taken place. She found pieces of destroyed Kethver ships floating in the darkness. This is creepy, she said to herself as she collected the metal fragments. When she brought the pieces back to Earth, Dr. Brooks's team began studying them. The Kethver technology was different from anything they had seen before. It was part machine, part something else. What is this material? Dr. Brooks asked. It's organic, said her assistant. But it's been changed somehow. It's like they took living tissue and turned it into metal. Double quotes. Dr. Brooks felt sick. They're using parts of the people they killed. That's horrible, her assistant said. It's also useful, Dr. Brooks replied. If we can understand how they process organic material, we might be able to disrupt their systems. Meanwhile, on the moon, Admiral Kate Wilson was preparing Earth's defense fleet. She had 200 ships, but half of them were old and outdated. The other half were newly upgraded with Zephylos' technology. Admiral, called out Communications Officer Dan Cooper, were getting reports from the outer system. The Kethver fleet has been detected. Admiral Wilson felt her stomach drop. How far away? About 6 hours, Dan said. They're moving faster than we expected. That's not enough time, Admiral Wilson said. We need at least 12 hours to finish the upgrades. Ma'am, said Captain Roy Phillips, what if we don't wait for them to come to us? What if we go out to meet them? Admiral Wilson looked at him. That's suicide. They have 10,000 ships. But they won't expect it, Roy said. They think we'll stay close to Earth and try to defend it. If we attack them while they're still far away, we might surprise them. Admiral Wilson thought about it. Roy was right. The Kethver were expecting humans to be afraid. They were expecting them to hide. How many ships do we have ready? She asked. 1? 100, Captain Phillips said. The rest need more time. Then we go with 100 ships, Admiral Wilson decided. We'll buy time for the others to be upgraded. Admiral, Dan Cooper said, that's not enough ships to fight the entire HFY. Fleet, we're not going to fight the entire fleet, Admiral Wilson said. We're going to hit them hard and fast, then retreat. We'll make them think we're stronger than we are. Captain Phillips smiled. A hit-and-run attack. I like it. Get me Commander Zeflos, Admiral Wilson ordered. When the hologram appeared, Admiral Wilson explained her plan. Zeflos was quiet for a moment. It's risky, he said finally, but it might work. The HFY don't understand human tactics. They always fight the same way. Will you help us? Admiral Wilson asked. Of course, Zeflos said. The Liberator will lead the attack. As the ships prepared to leave, people all over Earth watched. On television, they saw their brave pilots climbing into upgraded fighters. They saw the Liberator, beautiful and deadly, taking its place at the front of the fleet. President Colvin made another speech. Today, our children fly to the stars to protect our world. They carry with them the hopes and dreams of all humanity. They will not fight alone. The fleet launched into space, heading toward the approaching HFY army. On Earth, people held their breath and waited. The final battle was about to begin. Admiral Kate Wilson had never seen anything so terrifying in her life. Through the window of her command ship, she could see the HFY fleet approaching. 10,000 black ships filled the space in front of them. They moved like a swarm of deadly insects, blocking out the stars. My God, whispered Communications Officer Dan Cooper, there are so many of them. Admiral Wilson looked at her small fleet. 100 human ships and the Liberator. It seemed impossible that they could win. All ships, this is Admiral Wilson, she said into her radio. Remember, we're not trying to destroy them all. We just need to buy time for Earth. Commander Zeflos' voice came through the speakers. Admiral, my sensors are detecting the HFY command ship. It's in the center of their formation. Can we reach it? Admiral Wilson asked. Maybe, Zeflos said. But we would have to go through thousands of enemy ships. Admiral Wilson made her decision. Then that's what we'll do. All ships follow the Liberator. We're going for their command ship. The battle began with a roar of engines and weapons fire. The Liberator led the charge, its advanced weapons tearing through the first line of HFY ships. The human ships followed, their newly upgraded weapons blazing. Captain Roy Phillips was flying his fighter when the first wave of HFY ships attacked. His new weapons were powerful, but there were so many enemies. For every ship he destroyed, 2 more took its place. This is Phillips, he called over the radio. I'm taking heavy damage. My shields are failing. Get out of there, Roy, Admiral Wilson ordered. Negative, Roy said. I can see their command ship. I'm going to try to reach it. Roy pushed his fighter forward, dodging enemy fire. His ship was hit again and again, but he kept flying. He could see the massive HFY command ship ahead of him. Roy, your ship is about to explode, warned Captain Amy Hughes. You need to retreat. Tell my family I love them, Roy said. He aimed his fighter at the command ship and fired all his weapons. The explosion was so bright that it lit up the entire battlefield. The command ship was damaged, but it was still flying. Roy's sacrifice had weakened it, but it wasn't enough. All ships fall back, Admiral Wilson ordered. We've done what we came to do, but the HFY weren't finished. They sent thousands of small ships after the retreating humans. Many pilots didn't make it back to Earth. Grace Turner was in the communications center on Luna Base. She was trying to coordinate rescue operations for the damaged ships. Her radio was filled with calls for help. This is Captain Phillips's wingman, came a voice. He's gone. Roy is gone. Grace felt tears in her eyes, but she kept working. There would be time to mourn later. Right now, she had to save as many people as she could. Rescue Ship 7. There's a damaged fighter at coordinates 127.3, she said. Pilot is injured but alive. The Kethver fleet continued toward Earth. They had lost about 300 ships in the battle, but they still had over 9,000 left. The human attack had barely slowed them down. On Earth, the remaining ships were being upgraded as fast as possible. Captain Nina Foster and her team were working without sleep. They had to get the rest of the fleet ready before the Kethver arrived. "How many ships do we have now?" Nina asked. 150, reported Lieutenant Pete Johnson. "We lost 50 in the battle, but we've upgraded another 100 since then." "We need more," Nina said. "We need all of them." Dr. Ellen Brooks was still working on the communication disruptor. She had studied the Kethver wreckage and found something interesting. "I think I know how to break their quantum signals," she told her team. "But we need to get close to their command ship." "How close?" asked her assistant. "About 1 mile," Dr. Brooks said. "The signal has to be broadcast directly at their quantum transmitter. That's suicide," her assistant said. "No ship can get that close to a Kethvar command ship." "One ship can," Dr. Brooks said. "The Liberator." When the Kethver fleet finally reached Earth, they found the entire human fleet waiting for them. Every ship that could fly was there. Military vessels, cargo ships, even civilian spacecraft that had been fitted with weapons. Admiral Wilson stood on the bridge of her command ship and looked at the enemy. They were close enough now that she could see individual ships. The Kethver command ship was in the center, protected by layers of smaller vessels. "This is Admiral Wilson to all ships," she said. "Today we fight for our home. We fight for our families. We fight for the future of humanity." The battle began with the largest space fight in human history. Thousands of ships on both sides opened fire at once. The space between Earth and the Moon became a storm of energy beams and explosions. Mike Stevens was flying a converted cargo ship that had been fitted with weapons. He had never been a soldier, but he volunteered anyway. His ship was slow and clumsy, but his weapons were powerful. "Stay close to the other cargo ships," Captain Amy Hughes told him over the radio. "Don't try to be a hero." But Mike saw something that made him change his mind. A group of Kethver fighters was attacking a damaged human cruiser. The cruiser couldn't defend itself. "I'm going to help them," Mike said. "Mike, no." Amy called. "Your ship isn't built for fighting." Mike didn't listen. He flew his cargo ship toward the Kethver fighters. His weapons weren't as fast as military guns, but they hit hard. He destroyed 2 enemy fighters before they knew what was happening. The human cruiser was saved, but Mike's ship was badly damaged. He limped back toward Earth, proud that he had made a difference. Dr. Helen Carter was in the communication center, trying to coordinate the battle. She had never been in combat before, but she was learning fast. "Squadron 7 is under heavy attack," she reported to Admiral Wilson. "They need reinforcement. Send Squadron 12 to help them." Admiral Wilson ordered. Helen watched the battle on her screens. It was chaos. Ships were exploding everywhere. But somehow, the humans were holding their own against the Kethver. Commander Zeflos was fighting. In the thick of the battle, the Liberator was taking heavy damage, but its shields were still holding. He had been waiting for the right moment to use Dr. Brooks's communication disruptor. "Admiral Wilson," he called over the radio. "I'm going to try to reach their command ship." "It's too dangerous," Admiral Wilson replied. "You'll never make it through their defenses." "I have to try," Zeflos said. "It's our only chance." The Liberator turned and flew straight toward the center of the Kethver fleet. Enemy ships fired at it from all directions. The ship's shields glowed brighter and brighter as they absorbed the attacks. Captain Frank Walsh was flying his fighter nearby when he saw what Zephylos was trying to do. All fighters, protect the Liberator. He shouted. Human fighters swarmed around the Liberator, sacrificing themselves to keep it safe. One by one, they were shot down, but they cleared a path through the enemy fleet. Frank's fighter was hit by enemy fire. His engines were failing, but he kept flying. "I'm not going to make it," he said over the radio. "Frank, eject." Amy Hughes called to him. "No," Frank said. "I can still help." He aimed his damaged fighter at a group of Kethfer ships that were blocking the Liberator's path. His ship exploded in a brilliant flash, destroying 3 enemy vessels. The Liberator pushed forward. It was almost at the Kethfa command ship when disaster struck. A massive Kethfer dreadnought appeared in front of it, blocking its path. "I can't get through," Zephylos reported. "The dreadnought is too big." Admiral Wilson watched from her command ship. The battle was going badly. They were running out of ships, and the Kethvar seemed to have endless numbers. Then she had an idea. "All cargo ships, this is Admiral Wilson. I need you to ram the dreadnought." "Ma'am?" came a confused voice. "Use your ships as weapons," Admiral Wilson explained. "Ram into the dreadnought and clear a path for the Liberator." It was a desperate plan. The cargo ship pilots would certainly die. But without hesitation, they agreed. "This is Mike Stevens," came a familiar voice. "My ship is already damaged. I'll go first." "Mike, no." Amy called, but Mike was already flying toward the dreadnought. His slow cargo ship picked up speed as it fell toward the massive enemy vessel. Other cargo ships followed him. The collision was tremendous. Mike's ship and 5 others smashed into the dreadnought's hull. The enemy ship was crippled, drifting helplessly in space. "The path is clear," Admiral Wilson shouted. The Liberator flew through the gap created by the brave cargo ship pilots. It reached the Kethver command ship and got within range of the communication disruptor. "Activating the disruptor now," Zephylos announced. Dr. Brooks's device sent out a powerful signal that jammed the Kethvar. Quantum communications. Instantly, the enemy fleet began to act confused. Ships collided with each other. Some stopped fighting entirely. "It's working," Grace Turner shouted from Luna Base. "Their fleet is breaking apart." Admiral Wilson seized the moment. "All ships attack now. Hit them while they're confused." The human fleet charged forward. Without their communication network, the Kethvar couldn't coordinate their defense. Human ships destroyed enemy vessels. That couldn't call for help, but the victory came at a terrible cost. Half of Earth's fleet had been destroyed. Thousands of brave pilots had died, including Roy Phillips, Frank Walsh, and Mike Stevens. The surviving Kethvar ships retreated into deep space. Their command ship was destroyed, and their war master was dead. They would not return to Earth. Commander Zephylos landed the damaged Liberator.